Deer season is going to be here before I know it, and to be honest with you, I'm nowhere near as ready or prepared as I would like to be. I actually hunt here on the 10 acres where we live, and a couple of days ago I went ahead and pulled my SD cards and kind of looked through them. There really wasn't much on them, I mean, at least not yet. So today I'm going to go ahead and get those cameras back up and running. I'm also going to throw some corn over in my feeder and some protein in my trough, and really just try to figure out what all I have left to do to get ready and be prepared for the 2026 deer season. I don't just do it for me. Over the past couple of years, my kiddos and my wife also started hunting out here with me. So today will kind of be more of a where we're starting from kind of thing. So let's get to it. So just to give you an idea of what I'm working with, like I said, I live on the 10 acres that I actually hunt, and I'm extremely blessed to be able to do that. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not some huge, gigantic hunting property by any means, but I mean, over the past couple years, there's been, man, some really good deer that come through here. The way my property sits, it's a real good funnel for where the deer come out of that to get to my property. So my main setup is right back here with my protein trough and my corn feeder. That's my main setup back behind me. But I'm surrounded by basically an 80-acre field that sits right next to me. And then diagonally across that 80-acre field is about a 600 tract of solid woods that nobody hunts, nobody farms, nobody does anything with. It's just completely left alone. So it's basically a safe haven for all the deer out here. And like I said, the way it sits, it comes to a pinch point, and those deer funnel right down and come right through here, right here to where my main setup is. So like I was just saying a second ago, this is the 80 acres that butts up directly to my property. And I've got full access and permission to get onto it, to hunt it, and everything like that. Unfortunately, it's currently planted in milo, so until he comes and harvests it, I'm going to stay out of it completely, because the last thing you want to do is piss off a farmer. Just take my word for that. But anyway, later in the year, this 80 acres will, excuse me, this 80 acres will give me some more options for different ways to set up my pop-ups and different locations to put my game cams. So for right now, I'm strictly going to be on my 10 acres alone. Like I said just a second ago, my main setup is right back over here. So let's go ahead and head over there and get the game cams back up and running and go ahead and put out some deer feed. All right, so basically this is my main setup. I've got my corn feeder, and then I've also got my protein trough that sits right next to it. Right over here on a fence post, I've got my two game cams. I've got a game cam that points at my corn feeder, and then I've got another game cam that points at my protein trough. So like I had said earlier, I had pulled both of my SD cards out of my cameras a couple of days ago. I had skimmed through them. Like I said, there wasn't much on them yet. So I'm going to go over here and get the SD cards put back in, make sure they are good on batteries, and we will get the cameras back up and running. Okay, so like I had said earlier, I've got these two game cams put on this fence post here. This top one mainly focuses on my protein trough, and this bottom one right here focuses on my corn feeder. And when I had checked these, I always forget which way these things go in. But when I checked these a couple of days ago, like I said, there wasn't much on them. But we also are, we're kind of early. At least for here, we're early, so it helps if you turn it on. It's kind of the whole point of doing it. All right, so I got both the game cams up and going. They're both running and turned on and set. Battery life is good. So we'll go on over here and we'll dump the corn and the protein out, and check and make sure that the feeders themselves and everything are doing all right and look good. Okay, so this is my corn feeder, and I have it going off 2 different times a day, one time in the morning and one time in the evening. And I put corn in it, I don't know, probably a couple of weeks ago. I'm just gonna go ahead and top it off, that way I can make sure it doesn't ever run empty. The way they design these bags, it's like you have to be a rocket scientist to figure out how to open them. You pull one string and then it gets tighter, you pull another string and it goes the opposite way. I've literally been doing these bags and hunting for 20 years, and I never can seem to get it right. Okay, you're definitely not going to want to leave. If you've made it to this part in the video, you're not going to want to leave, because anything could happen at this moment. All right, now that I got this feeder topped off, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of swing right around over here to my protein trough and dump that bag of protein out in it. So I usually don't feed deer protein year round. I kind of feed it, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 months before the season actually starts. I really like to feed protein during their growing season. And then I also like to use the protein as kind of like a deer attractant to help bring them into this area. Okay, so I've got my SD cards put back in the camera. Like I said, they're up and running. When I checked them a couple of days ago, there really wasn't much on them, but you know, hopefully that will change as we get closer to the season. I topped my corn feeder off. I also dumped a bag of protein out here in the trough. So I'm going to, I'll probably leave this area alone. I'm probably gonna leave it alone for a little while and let it settle back down, and then come back, you know, here in a few days or a week or so, and see if I've got anything else maybe with some potential coming onto the camera. Obviously, I would love for there to be a couple of mature bucks or maybe some hogs. We have hogs in this area, and they'll tend to come up and tear up my protein, so those are always super fun to hunt. My kiddos love hunting them. So I am going to take a little walk around and see kind of what I've got left to do as far as like pop-ups and setups and tripods and stuff like that. And I also want to get a good location set back up like I did over the past couple of years that's super easy to get to and easy for my kiddos and my wife to hunt out of. So like I said, I'm going to leave this alone for a little while. We're completely up and running and good to go. So we'll go take a look around the rest of my property and see what else that I have left that I really need to get done. So guys, that's a pretty good start. We got both the cameras back up and going, got the corn and the protein put back out, and like I said, now we'll give it a little time and see if anything starts showing up. Next, I've got to start figuring out the actual hunting setups, where I'm going to place my pop-up blinds and my tripod, and really how I'm going to get this place set up, not just for me, but for my kiddos and my wife too. So that's where we're starting the 2026 season. And as always, guys, remember, it's more than a hunt, it's a story. See y'all in the next one.